KSI has emerged as one of the biggest names in the world of boxing and combat sports in the recent years, with a string of high-profile fights and a massive online following. As of now, he's close to fighting Joe Fournier, a fellow millionaire who had been making waves in the boxing world with his undefeated record and aggressive fighting style. First, let's discuss the recent fight between Joe Fournier and David Haye, a former world champion. We'll also take a look at KSI's past fights and strengths of the fighter, but we'll get into that later. Let's start by talking about the fight between Joe Fournier and David Haye, a world-renowned professional boxer. The fight took place on September 11, 2021 at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. Fournier, who's an undefeated fighter, went up against Haye, a former two-division world champion. Fournier has been making headlines recently for his fights against other celebrities and athletes. He's a British entrepreneur and amateur boxer who has a record of 9-0 with 9 knockouts. However, many people have criticized Fournier's opponents, saying that they're not serious fighters and that Fournier is only taking easy fights. In his fight against Haye, Fournier was an underdog, but he was confident that he could pull off the upset. However, the fight ended with Haye winning off of unanimous points. One of the key reasons for this is that Fournier seemed to struggle with Haye's speed and footwork. Haye was able to avoid many of Fournier's punches and counter effectively, landing some hard shots of his own. Fournier, on the other hand, seemed to rely on his strength and size to overpower Haye, but this strategy didn't work as well as he had hoped. So, how could KSI potentially beat Joe Fournier if they were to fight? First, let's take a look at KSI's past fights and his strengths as a fighter. KSI, whose real name is Olajide Olatunji, is a British rapper and YouTuber who's been involved in several high-profile boxing matches over the years. So here are the 7 key strengths of KSI that could give him the edge over Joe Fournier in a potential future fight. Number 1. Endurance. KSI has shown impressive stamina in his past fights, particularly in his second bout against Logan Paul, where he maintained a high level of activity throughout the 6-round fight. This could be a significant advantage against Fournier, who has been criticized for his cardio in the past. Number 2. Counter-punching. KSI has developed a strong counter-punching style, which could be effective against Fournier's aggressive forward-moving approach. Using Fournier's momentum against him, KSI could create openings for his own punches and score points. Number 3. Speed. KSI has quick hands and feet, which could make it difficult for Fournier to close the distance and land his own shots. KSI's ability to dart in and out of range could frustrate Fournier and force him to make mistakes. Number 4. Reach. KSI has a significant reach advantage over Fournier, which could allow him to keep the fight at a distance and control the pace. Using his jab and other long-range punches, KSI could keep Fournier at bay and prevent him from landing his power shots. Number 5. Intelligence. Although he may not appear as intelligent at times, KSI is a smart fighter who is able to adapt to his opponent's style and adjust his own approach accordingly. This could be especially important against Fournier, who's known for his unorthodox, unpredictable style. KSI's ability to read Fournier and make the right strategic decisions could be crucial for him. Number 6. Footwork. KSI has shown good footwork in his past fights, which could help him avoid Fournier's attacks and create angles for his own punches. By staying light on his feet and moving in and out of range, KSI could frustrate Fournier and limit his opportunities to land clean shots. Number 7. Mental toughness. KSI has shown resilience and mental toughness in his past fights, particularly in his rematch with Logan Paul, where he overcame a knockdown in the 4th round to secure the victory. This could be an important factor in a potential fight with Fournier, who's known for his trash talking and psychological games. KSI's ability to stay focused and composed under pressure could also give him an edge in the fight. However, there are several factors that could lead to Joe Fournier's defeat if he were to fight KSI, with one of them being a lack of speed and footwork. Fournier has been criticized for his slow footwork and lack of speed, which could make it difficult for him to keep up with KSI's quick movements in the ring. If Fournier is unable to close the distance and land his shots, he could struggle to score points and win rounds. Fournier is also known for his heavy hands and knockout power, but if he relies too heavily on his punching ability, he could leave himself open to counterattacks from KSI. If KSI is able to slip Fournier's punches and counter with his own shots, he could score points and wear Fournier down over time. Fournier's unorthodox, unpredictable style could also work against him if KSI is able to read and anticipate his movements. If Fournier's attacks are too wild or reckless, KSI could take advantage of his openings and score points easily. Another reason Fournier could lose to KSI is that he's been criticized for his cardio in the past, and if he's unable to maintain a high level of activity throughout the fight, he could tire quickly. This could lead him to become more vulnerable to KSI's attacks, and KSI's endurance and stamina could be a significant advantage for him in this scenario. Despite his undefeated record, Fournier has also had a limited number of professional fights, and he could be at a disadvantage against KSI, who has slightly more experience in the ring. If Fournier is unable to adjust to KSI's style and make strategic decisions during the fight, fight, he could struggle to win rounds and ultimately lose the fight. Now, let's talk about the controversy surrounding whether or not KSI will fight Jake Paul after his upcoming fight with Joe Fournier. For those who don't know, Jake Paul is another YouTuber turned boxer who has been involved in several high-profile fights over the past few years. KSI and Jake Paul have been trash-talking each other for months, and fans are eagerly anticipating a potential showdown between the two. However, KSI has recently stated that he's not interested in fighting Jake Paul at the moment, and that his focus is on his upcoming fight with Joe Fournier. Many fans have criticized KSI for not wanting to Jake Paul, saying that he's afraid of losing or he's only interested in taking easy fights. Regardless of whether or not KSI ends up fighting Jake Paul, it's clear that he's a talented fighter with a bright future in the sport, even if Jake is his ultimate goal. He's proven himself against some tough opponents such as FaZe Temper, and his skills and endurance make him a formidable opponent for anyone in the ring. But to sum it all up, Joe Fournier's recent fight with Haye highlighted some of his weaknesses as a fighter, including his struggles with speed and footwork. When KSI fights Fournier on May 13th, his endurance, counter-punching skills, speed, and reach would give him an advantage in the ring. Only time will tell what holds the future for KSI's boxing career, but one thing's for sure, he's a force to be reckoned with in the ring. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content, and remember, don't forget to stay gloved.